Okay, today is August the 6th, 2015, looking at the rainbow color infrared loop for the Northeast Pacific. And we still have Guillermo out here trying to get its last gasp. It is still being hit with a transmitter, and we'll take a look at that here right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at this in the visible light mode. And where is that? Right here. This is what's left of Guillermo, and there's a transmitter hitting right here, and we can see the shock waves right on the center of that, flying out at a very high velocity, right here. That is Guillermo, and we can see some of the outflow activity in this shot as well. There are several what look like blast patterns coming out of the back of this moisture trail right there. Okay. Now if you look at the bigger picture here, the moisture field from Guillermo is moving right into Southern California today, and the skies in Los Angeles were covered with chemtrails all day long. They sprayed all day to prevent the rain, and in the greater Los Angeles area there was no rain. We'll have to watch the news and see where, if any rain elsewhere in the state fell. But around in the Southern California metropolitan areas, it did not rain. Okay, so we got a spinning low here. This is not indicated on the National Hurricane Center. This is a big area of low pressure that's being hit by a transmitter. This has been going on for about 3 days now, right here. There's a new tropical storm down here, Hilda, which is heading west about 16 miles per hour and due west. And we have about 5 or 6 low pressures in this shot here. We have one here, which is starting to be attacked by a transmitter right here. We've got this one here. This was up here about 3 days ago. That guy, they're squashing him out. And then we have another one here. There's some heat on that one. You can see that right there. And then there's another one here, right there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. We have another one right here. They call this a dry low on the news last night. That's because they've squashed it. There's no rain left in it. It's just a spinning area. But it is now affecting the flow from Guillermo. So this flow is being affected here, and we can see that they're still heating this area on the southern side of that counterclockwise rotating mass. They are hitting this with heat, so it cannot regenerate. We can see right here they're dividing this. They don't want this to wrap around the clockwise spinning low and to rebuild. So that's why this is here. It'll prevent any development of that, or rather redevelopment of that low. Okay, I mentioned this. This is being hit with a transmitter. That's a very large center of rotation. The blast, the steam that's generated from the blast is feeding some monsoonal thunderstorm redevelopment over here, which is heading up into Arizona and California. We'll get to see that here in a second. Let's go move over to the, let's go take a look at Hilda over here. Hilda is a tropical storm, 60-mile-per-hour winds heading due west, and its central pressure is 1,001 millibars, so it's not something that looks too threatening, but we'll keep an eye on that. There's also another disturbance down here, 0% chance of hurricane formation in 48 hours. We'll watch all that very carefully. Here's another close-up of that, what's left of Guillermo. Okay, still got high pressure installed over Hawaii to keep all this weather at bay. That's man-made right here. This is installed to protect Hawaii from this storm here, and as well as all this thunderstorm activity down there. Okay, next, we saw that. This is being hit right on the core, right there, with the transmitter. Okay, next, this is the East Pacific water vapor loop. And tonight, I predict that they will start around 9 or 10 o'clock. We'll start seeing these storms getting blown apart as they move into Arizona and into California. We'll keep a close eye on that. Let's see. Next, here's the infrared loop, or rather the water vapor loop. They show it as infrared, but that's not correct. It's actually, this is a water vapor loop. So right there. I always get it mixed up. Okay, these thunderstorms, these are very intense. They're pink. That's almost that's about a number 9 on the scale. I'll keep a close eye on all this. Let's go look at the geostationary browser here in a second. Now this is the flow I mentioned right here where the mouse is. This is all the flow from former Hurricane Guillermo, and this is all full of chemtrails. As I mentioned, our skies in Los Angeles were covered horizon to horizon with chemtrails and clouds. No rain is the result of that. Okay, now the geostationary browser is usually a very good satellite because it highlights chemtrails. You can see the jets leaving streaks all through these weather systems, and so I always take a look at this website here, which is the SEC website, and I think it's the University of Wisconsin, their site. This is the water vapor image, and we can see clearly all the spinning lows that are all around the Pacific, none of which are bringing any rain to the west coast. Okay, so next one is the rainbow loop for the southwest, and we can see the intensity of these storms as they bubble up into very, very large storms. So I'm sure that they're going to be hitting these later. Okay, keep an eye on that. And the last one, this is the visible light mode. We'll keep an eye on that. We can actually see the 3D image of these storms, the convection of these storms as they approach very high altitudes, around 45,000 feet. All right, so that's pretty much it. We'll do another update tonight, possibly, if we start seeing these thunderstorms being hit by transmitters. We'll document that and put up another video as evidence of weather manipulation. Now, the California drought is a manufactured crisis. It's a man-made crisis. There are people running transmitters. They're controlling our weather, and they're preventing rain. This should all be heavy rain, but when they spread these aerosols over the top, it does not allow convection, and it prevents the rain, lowers the relative humidity significantly. Okay, and today the barometric pressure in Los Angeles was about 30.01, something like that, 30.05. Okay, so we'll do another one later. That's it.